In the concrete jungle of New York City, a clash of titans unfolds. Two legendary motorcycle clubs, the Hells Angels and the Pagans, find themselves locked in a battle for dominance, their paths destined to collide with devastating consequences. This battle shakes the community in New York City to the core. Assassinations happen in broad daylight, and drive-by shootings occur. If you're a part of a one-percenter club, there is no time off, and the enemy could be lurking around every corner. But who will emerge victorious in this unforgiving showdown? The deadly rise of the Pagans MC. In the gritty world of American bikers, the Pagans MC holds its own, rubbing shoulders with the infamous Hells Angels and Banditos. True to their name, these guys are up to no good. And you better believe the Hells Angels know exactly who they're messing with. But how the hell did these outlaws carve their path to biker royalty in the first place? The history of motorcycle clubs can be traced back to World War II. It was during this time that many powerful biker clubs emerged as a form of recreation. Little did the founders realize the impact these clubs would have on the present-day scene. Among them, the Hells Angels stand out as arguably the most influential biker club. They too were established in the aftermath of World War II. These clubs are referred to as outlaws, indicating their penchant for occasionally engaging in criminal activities, and their disregard for the rules set by the American Motorcycling Association. Unlike other motorcycle clubs, they operate on their own terms. But today, not only the American Motorcycling Association is skeptical of their intentions. The U.S. Department of Justice defines outlaw motorcycle clubs as organizations whose members utilize their clubs as conduits for criminal activities.
Here I must add that this characterization developed sometime after the original creation of the motorcycle clubs. The initial idea was much more free and peaceful, but it seems that somehow a few of these clubs are just looking for the dangerous life.
For veterans, reintegrating into society after the war was not always easy. Motorcycles provided a sense of personal freedom and became a source of camaraderie and excitement. Initially, these clubs were formed for fun, support, and a sense of thrill. The Second World War had a significant impact on the motorcycle industry, prompting the U.S. military to request Harley-Davidson to produce over 100,000 motorcycles. Technological advancements rapidly increased as motorcycles were designed for military use. Thus, the origins of motorcycle clubs may have been humble. Their legacy and influence are still felt today. In the post-World War II era, as the nation heals its wounds, restless souls seek solace and freedom on the open road. Lou Dobkin founds the Pagans Motorcycle Club in Prince George's, Maryland. Little does anyone know that this humble beginning ignites a firestorm of chaos and criminality. The Pagans are a tight-knit group of 13 members, donning denim jackets and roaring down the highways on Triumph motorcycles. United by love for the wind and the thrill, their brotherhood is unbreakable. Symbols of fear adorn the Pagans. Their denim vests bear Surt, the Norse fire giant, symbolizing fiery wrath. The Pagans' unmistakable insignia warns those who dare challenge them. With growing numbers, the hunger for power surges within the Pagans. President John Satan Maron leads them down a dark path, striking deals with La Cosa Nostra. Violence becomes their currency, spreading terror. Despite criminal activities, the Pagans operate with military-like precision. Shrouded in secrecy, they rival the notorious Hells Angels. Law enforcement struggles to infiltrate their ranks, outmaneuvered by a club with its own rules. But anyone crossing the Angels must prepare to enter hell itself. Clash of Titans, Hells Angels versus Pagans, MC. Amidst the escalating feud between the Pagans, MC, and the Hells Angels. MC, the streets of New Jersey and Pennsylvania bristle with tension and the faint scent of impending danger. Authorities suspect both clubs' involvement in the drug trade, their hands potentially stained with illicit dealings. The battleground shifts to the bustling boroughs of New York City, where territorial disputes bring the Pagans and the Hells Angels face to face. It is the year 2018, April 28th, when several members of the Pagans MC cross paths with Shank, a Hells Angels biker, at a gas station near his club's stronghold. Oblivious to the lurking danger, Shank stops to refuel his motorcycle. A group of Pagans descends upon Shank, their aggression palpable. With swift brutality, they launch a surprise attack, unleashing a torrent of blows that leave Shank battered and broken. A blatant action of the Pagans. With several men, they grabbed Shank, who was driving alone, an action that the Hells Angels remembered and considered very carefully how they deal with it. But for the Angels, there is no retreat, only the fittest wins. With tensions reaching a boiling point, the Hells Angels made a bold decision, a symbolic act of defiance. After nearly half a century rooted in their Manhattan East Village clubhouse, they relinquished their stronghold, severing their connection to a legacy steeped in history. Instead, they set their sights on the heart of Pagans' territory, the Bronx. There, on Longstreet Avenue, they acquired a new two-story fortress, marking their unwavering presence amidst their enemies. But as it had to happen, this move was not without consequences. The Pagans certainly don't just let another biker club move peacefully into the neighborhood. A welcome gift should follow soon. The clock strikes January 2nd, 2020, a date destined to be marred by violence. Under the cover of darkness, a hailstorm of bullets rains upon the Hells Angels Bronx sanctuary. Miraculously, no lives are claimed, but the clubhouse bears the scars of this brazen attack. Surveillance footage unveils a chilling sight, a roaring procession of motorcycles, their riders masked, firing indiscriminately at the clubhouse, leaving destruction in their wake. The Pagans draw first blood, but the Hells Angels will not remain idle for long. 5 months later, the Bronx streets bear witness to a meticulously planned act of retribution. The president of the Pagans' Bronx chapter, Francisco Rosado, becomes their target. In a calculated ambush caught on surveillance cameras, Hells Angels members emerge from the shadows, masked and armed to the teeth. Their intentions are clear: to eliminate their foe. The lethal dance unfolds with precision, and Francisco Rosado, a man once feared by his enemies, now falls victim to their wrath. His lifeblood stains the pavement as the three assailants flee into the shadows. But fate will not be kind to them for long. Authorities, fueled by the urgency to quell the raging storm, leave no stone unturned in their pursuit of justice. Their efforts bear fruit as they swiftly apprehend the three individuals responsible for Francisco Rosado's demise. The wheels of justice set in motion, promising to exact retribution upon those who seek to paint the streets red. But the war of the Hell Angels and the Pagans does not only take place in New York. In Massachusetts, too, the two clubs shy away from nothing. Massachusetts Mayhem, the bloody rivalry unveiled. As spring unfolds in April 2022, the Pagans make a bold move, establishing a new chapter dangerously close to the Hells Angels territory in Fall River, Massachusetts. It is a direct challenge, a provocation that will not go unanswered. The Hells Angels, known for their ruthlessness, are not about to let the encroachment go unnoticed. The Hells Angels respond with a vengeance. They reestablish their presence in Cape Cod and issue a chilling mandate, a green light policy. It is a declaration of war, allowing the Hells Angels members to attack any pagan they encounter on sight. The tension in the air is palpable, and the streets crackle with an impending storm. On May 14th, the thunderous rumble of motorcycle engines reverberates through the night. Over 100 Hells Angels members descend upon a chosen battleground. A smaller group of 25 breaks away, ready to face the Pagans head-on at their clubhouse. Under the cloak of darkness, chaos erupts. Women are hastily ushered inside as 7 Hells Angels members emerge from the shadows, their weapons gleaming ominously. Knives, hammers, and clubs are brandished with lethal intent, unleashing a storm of violence upon the unsuspecting Pagans. Supporting the Hells Angels from the shadows, additional members and their associates cunningly block traffic, acting as lookouts to ensure their rivals have no escape. The streets transform into a battleground. The brawl erupts with a fury as bodies collide, screams pierce the night, and the acrid scent of fear hangs heavy in the air. As chaos consumes the streets, the wails of sirens cut through the night. The police descend upon the scene, their authority pitted against the ferocity of the warring clubs. Their intervention aims to break up the fight and usher the wounded to safety, but it is a daunting task in the face of such unrestrained violence. The Hells Angels, bloodied but unbowed, retreat to their Cape Cod stronghold. It is a temporary respite as the war between the two gangs rages on. In the aftermath of the violent street brawl, whispers of retribution and revenge echo through the shadows. The Hell's Angels seethe with anger, their thirst for dominance unquenched. The Pagans, battered and bruised, lick their wounds and prepare for the next battle.